Ever pondered on how to generate income from your existing stocks? One answer: covered calls. It's a phrase you might have come across, but what does it mean? Well, let's dive right in. Covered calls are a strategy that savvy investors employ to generate income from their assets. Here's how it works. An investor sells call options on assets they already own. Now you might be wondering, why would anyone do that? The answer lies in the investor's view on the asset. This strategy is particularly useful when an investor has a short-term neutral view on the asset. In other words, if they believe the asset's price won't change dramatically in the near future, they might opt for a covered call. This way they can still generate income from the asset, even if its price doesn't go up. And the best part? Covered calls also act as a short-term hedge, offering an extra layer of protection against potential market fluctuations. So, while the world of investing can often feel like a roller coaster ride, covered calls can offer a bit of a safety net. Essentially, covered calls are a way to earn income from your stocks, acting as a short-term hedge. Now you might wonder, how does one go about selling covered calls? The procedure is relatively straightforward. It all starts with owning the asset, usually a stock, in your portfolio. The next step is selling a call option on that same asset. A call option might sound intimidating, but it's merely an agreement that gives the buyer the right to buy your asset at a predetermined price, known as the strike price, within a specific time frame. This time frame ends on the expiration date. Now let's talk about the premium. When you sell the call option, the buyer pays you a fee for the privilege, and this fee is the premium. The premium is essentially income that you receive up front, regardless of what happens with the asset or the option later on. The beauty of this strategy is that it allows you to generate income from assets you already own, while potentially benefiting from short-term price stability or even a slight increase in the asset's value. But remember, the maximum profit you can achieve is the premium received plus any potential appreciation of the stock up to the strike price. If the stock price rises beyond the strike price, you won't benefit from further increases. That's the basic process of selling a covered call. Own the asset, sell the call, collect the premium. So, what's the catch with covered calls? What are the potential risks and rewards? Let's dive into that. The allure of covered calls lies in their potential for profit. The maximum profit you can achieve is the sum of the premium you receive from selling the call option, plus any appreciation in the stock's value. On the flip side, the maximum loss you could incur is the purchase price of the stock, subtracting the premium you received. So, in essence, covered calls serve to limit the risk and potential downsides of options contracts. This makes them a particularly attractive strategy for institutional funds and traders. But it's not all sunshine and roses. The key trade-off with covered calls is that while they do provide a source of income and limit risk, they also cap your further upside profit potential. If the stock's price skyrockets, your profit won't exceed the strike price of the call sold. The beauty of covered calls is that they limit risk while providing a source of income. But remember, further upside profit potential is limited if the stock continues to rise. So now you know what covered calls are, how they work, and the potential risks and rewards. In this brief journey, we've explored the fascinating world of covered calls. This strategy, often employed by investors who have a short-term neutral view on an asset, involves selling call options on assets they already own. The primary incentive here? Generating income. Remember, the maximum profit you can make from a covered call is the sum of the premium received and any potential appreciation of the stock. However, the flip side reveals a possible maximum loss, equal to the purchase price of the stock minus the premium. You've learned that covered calls serve as a short-term hedge on a long stock position. They limit the risks and potential downsides of options contracts, making them an attractive strategy for institutional funds and traders. But it's worth noting, they're not the go-to option for extremely bullish or bearish investors. Finally, keep in mind that covered calls can be profitable if the stock price rises to the strike price of the call sold, yet they also limit further upside profit potential if the stock continues to rise. Covered calls, a savvy strategy for the smart investors seeking to generate income from their stocks while mitigating risk.